Ciao ciao dosto. I'm Ajay Menon. I'm a Serie A content creator based in India, a Romanista. And in this video, I'm going to tell you all why the title race in Serie A is going to be insanely competitive. So without any further ado, let's start the video. Alright, let's start with Napoli, the current Scudetto and Serie A title holders. Antonio Conte's Napoli went on an amazing run last season as they snatched the Scudetto on the final day from the hands of Internazionale Milano, Inter Milan. However, as exciting as the title race was, Napoli and Conte almost seemed like they were on the verge of a divorce last season. But eventually, the Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis and Antonio Conte found a middle ground, and that enabled Antonio Conte to spend heavily in the summer reinvesting in that Napoli squad that had just won the league. In came in Kevin De Bruyne from Man City on a free transfer, arguably one of the highest profile players to have come to play in the Italian Serie A for a very long time. Kevin De Bruyne may be the king, but Noah Lang, Lorenzo Luca and Rasmus Højlund bolstered the Napoli attack that now looks to be firing on all cylinders. This is a Napoli team that is expected to fight for the title as well as win the domestic trophy in the Coppa Italia and go deep in the Champions League, something that Antonio Conte has been aiming to do for a while now. Speaking of De Bruyne, he's been deployed in multiple positions by Conte. It could be a mezzala, a trequartista or a regista. De Bruyne has been through it all, and boy has he delivered for Napoli. He's got 10 goals and assists in 11 outings for Napoli as well as his national team, Belgium. Unfortunately, Romelu Lukaku has been injured, but Rasmus Højlund has picked up some form as he's gone on an insane run, scoring in the Champions League, in Serie A, and now, for the national team as well for Denmark. So, Napoli and Conte seem to be the favourites to defend their Serie A title this year. But let's talk about the challengers. And I'm starting off with the youngster from Croatia who's impressed everyone. One and only Luka Modric. AC Milan signed the veteran from Madrid, and boy oh boy, has Luka Modric delivered or what? He's been like a fine wine, like how we say in Italiano, bellissima vino. But my point is that Luka Modric is still delivering on the pitch. Let's have a look at some of his stats. Luka Modric is number 1 in interceptions, in completed passes in the opposition half. He's number 1 in line breaking, and he's number 1 in winning back the ball possession. So Luka Modric, you look at his heat map, you feel that he's some kind of young player coming out and, making his mark in that Milan midfield. But man, he's a spring chicken. He's 40 years old and he's still doing it for Milan at the highest level. Now, Milan obviously got back Max Allegri, their old coach who won them a Scudetto. And Allegri, whatever said and done, there are a lot of question marks. Even he needs to redeem himself in what was a very disappointing spell with Juve, his second stint with Juve, that is. But Allegri is known to win trophies. Even in that disappointing spell with Juve, his second stint, he still managed to win the Coppa Italia. Granted, Allegri's last Scudetto was some time away, but do not rule out AC Milan as the number 1 contender for Napoli. AC Milan also have the benefit of not playing European football that actually helped Napoli last season quite a lot, as they only had to play 1 game a week. Now coming on to Milan's cousins, the other side of Milan, the Nerazzurro side, Internazionale Milano or Inter Milan, I would still say that despite Simone Inzaghi leaving, despite their season, the last season crumbling down, at one point they were favourites to probably at least win a trophy. There were some murmurs that Inter could go and get a treble. Unfortunately, their season came falling down, crashing down in a month where they got knocked out of the Coppa Italia. They lost the league on the final day, and of course that infamous final loss against Paris Saint-Germain, 5-0, and Simone Inzaghi immediately leaving for Saudi. You expected this Inter team to disintegrate after that. Of course, the coach left and there were whispers that a few high-profile players might leave, but nothing came to fruition. Inter have managed to maintain the bulk of the squad. They've added Akanji, Benjamin Pavard left Inter, but they've gotten Akanji from Man City to strengthen their backline. And of course, Lautaro Martinez is leading the line along with Marcus Thuram and Boni, who's come in from Parma, who looks like a very good addition already to this Inter attack. Christian Kivu, ex-Inter and Roma player, has now taken the reins as the new Inter coach. Now, he did not have a lot of time under him previously, just managing 13-odd games for Parma, and we saw a few glimpses of him in the Club World Cup where Inter themselves were quite disappointing. But they've started this season on a positive note. Despite a loss, they've been quite consistent, especially in the Champions League, and they're slowly finding their identity under Christian Kivu. Can Inter mount a title challenge with this coach? Maybe. But these set of players have the ability, they know what it's like to be in a title race. The core team have won trophies together, and Lautaro Martinez is leading from the front in what is a World Cup year for him, where he's expected to be the main man for Inter. I would say that both the Milan clubs are a serious threat to Napoli this season. Now let's have a look at the dark horses, and by no disrespect, this is a segment where I am going to rate some other teams who have an outside chance at the Scudetto. Starting off with Juventus have started the season with a lot of draws, and this has been a trouble for them even in the previous coach, even in the previous cycle where they kept on dropping points in games that they were expected to win. Now that's the reason why I put them as dark horses for this year's Serie A race. It's not like Juve are going to be really far off from the title, but I think with the limited squad, with Igor Tudor's limited coaching experience, I feel that they have an outside shot and they're not a direct rival to Napoli's chances. This is not the Juve of the past. The Juve of the past had a solid defensive backline, a commanding goalkeeper in Gigi Buffon, and probably one of the most sought-after defenses in world football. Now that spine has been broken. This is a new Juve. They're kind of in a new cycle as well. But it is Kenan Yildiz that you need to keep an eye out for. He is the young star in the making. He's already donning number 10 on his back. His idol Alessandro Del Piero's number 10, and he has been at the forefront of Juve's successes this season. The biggest game was the Juve versus Inter Nazionale game, the Derby d'Italia. You saw it was a fantastic game. It swung both ways. Anyone could have won it, but it was Juve who came out on top. A very commendable win against their bitter rivals. But even after that, I still feel that Juve still have a little further to go when it comes to being title challengers. So these are my top 4 picks. I have Napoli, I have both the Milan teams, I have Juve, and yeah, if you guys are asking about Roma, I think Roma are going to be in a race for the Champions League places, which also gets very exciting in Italy. I mean, Serie A has always been one of the most entertaining leagues, and over the last 5-6 years, we've seen that the title race is very interesting. The race for Europe is interesting. The relegation battle also gets interesting. But I feel this year it's going to get tighter for the Champions League and the European spots, because you have Roma, you have Bologna, you have Lazio, you have Atalanta, you have Fiorentina, and of course we have Como also in the mix. Cesc Fabregas' Como, who have made some amazing signings over the summer and play a very brand new attractive style of football, are in the mix for those European places. That was the video, guys. If this video has managed to convince you to go and watch Serie A and Calcio, I think my job here is done. This promises to be a fantastic season, trust me, with at least 3 title challengers and a few outsiders here or there. The top 7, top 8 in Serie A is going to get decided in the finest of the margins. Please like this video, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below. And for more such content, like, share and subscribe. Until next time, it's ciao ciao.